Okay, let's talk about the moon. We see it all the time, right? But what if I told you that our closest celestial neighbor might not be what it seems? We're diving into a really provocative theory based on the book Who Built the Moon that suggests our moon isn't natural at all. You hear a quote like that and you think it's a joke, but it's not. That came from a scientist, and it really sums up this deep underlying frustration in the scientific community. The moon is just so weird. It breaks so many rules that honestly, it's almost easier to believe our eyes are deceiving us than to accept it's a natural object. And that's where our story begins, with this giant, beautiful enigma hanging right over our heads. So, where do you even start trying to solve a mystery this big? Well, you start with something we've all seen, something that's both beautiful and, when you really think about it, completely baffling: a total solar eclipse. It's hiding an incredible secret right in plain sight. You've seen pictures, maybe you've been lucky enough to see one yourself. The little moon slides in front of the massive sun, and for a few minutes, it fits like a perfect puzzle piece. It's so exact that it blocks the main body of the sun, but lets you see that incredible fiery corona dancing around the edge. It's a magic trick on a cosmic scale. So, how is that even possible? Well, here's where your jaw should hit the floor. The whole thing works because of a mathematical coincidence that is just beyond belief. Get this, the sun is 400 times bigger than the moon, but it also just happens to be 400 times farther away. These two massive numbers cancel each other out perfectly, making them look the exact same size in our sky. No other planet, no other moon in our entire solar system has this perfect relationship. Only us. So, what do we make of that? Is it just the most incredible one in a billion fluke of cosmic geometry? Did Earth just win the celestial lottery? Or, as the book suggests, is this perfect alignment the first major clue that we should be looking a lot closer? That maybe, just maybe, this wasn't an accident at all. To figure that out, we have to do what any good detective would do. We have to look at the official story, the accepted scientific theory for how the moon got here, and see if it actually holds water. Now, the leading theory is called the giant impact hypothesis, but everyone calls it the big whack. And it's a cool story, really. About 4.5 billion years ago, a baby Earth got smashed by another planet, something about the size of Mars. The debris from this massive collision got shot into orbit, and over time, gravity pulled it all together to form our moon. It's the best explanation we've got, but it is full of holes. First off, the chemistry's wrong. The rocks the Apollo astronauts brought back are missing a lot of iron that should be there if the moon was blasted off the Earth. But the bigger problem? Physics. An impact that huge would have sent Earth spinning like a top. A day would have been like 4 hours long. So, how do the computer models fix this? Well, they just add a second giant impact from the opposite direction to slow it down. It really starts to feel like they're just forcing the math to work. And the weirdness just keeps piling up. Back in 1970, NASA had this big 15-ton rocket booster they needed to get rid of after the Apollo 13 mission. So they decided to crash it into the moon on purpose. And what happened next? Well, it completely shocked them. The seismic sensors left on the surface picked up the impact, and they found that the entire moon vibrated. It literally rang for over 3 hours. Think about that. If you hit a solid rock with a hammer, you get a dull thud. If you hit a giant hollow metal sphere, it rings. The only conclusion they could come to was just startling. The moon might be hollow, or at the very least have a really, really small and light core. Either way, it's not like any natural moon we've ever seen. So let's just take a step back. We've got a perfect eclipse, an origin story that doesn't quite add up, and a structure that rings like a bell. The book argues that if these things aren't natural, then maybe we're looking for answers in the wrong place. Maybe the solution isn't in geology, maybe it's in the math. This is where the investigation takes a fascinating turn. The authors claim to have found a key, a single number that keeps showing up over and over again, 366. They even call it Earth's planetary identification number, or PIN, a value that basically defines our world. And look at how fundamental this number is. Earth rotates 366 times for every one trip around the sun. Okay, the Earth's circumference is 366% larger than the moon's. And, get this, in any given period of 10,000 Earth days, the moon orbits us exactly 366 times. I mean, these are 3 totally different fundamental measurements of our world, and they all land on the exact same number. But here's where it gets really mind-bending. The moon seems to be a perfect mathematical mirror of the Earth. If you take our planet's pin number, 366, and you find its reciprocal, basically 100 divided by 366, you get the number 27.322. So what? Well, how long does it take the moon to orbit the Earth? 27.322 days. And how big is the moon compared to the Earth? It's 27.322% of Earth's size. It's a perfect numerical reflection. It's just too neat. At a certain point, you have to ask yourself, how many coincidences are you willing to accept before you start looking for another explanation? The authors argue that this is way past the point of chance. And if we accept that, even for a moment, if we accept this is deliberate design, then we have to ask the biggest question of all: who or what built it? All right, this is where the theory goes from, that's interesting, to, whoa. The book lines up 3 prime suspects for this cosmic construction project, and each one is more staggering than the last. Okay, so suspect number 1, God. Some kind of divine creator who engineered the cosmos with this incredible mathematical beauty. Suspect 2, aliens, a super advanced civilization that built the moon to be a perfect incubator, a stable place for life to evolve on Earth. But the third suspect, the one the authors lean into the hardest, is the most radical of all. The builders were us. They call it the Mobius mission. The idea is that at some point in our distant future, humanity cracks the code to time travel. And what's the first thing we do? We go back billions of years to build the moon. Why would we do that? To create the stable tides and seasons necessary for life to evolve, so that we could exist in the first place. It's a time loop. Our future enables our own past. So here's how that crazy loop would work. In the distant past, the moon is built, which stabilizes Earth. That allows complex life, us, to evolve over billions of years. In the present, we finally get smart enough to decode the mathematical message in the Earth-Moon system. That message, the theory goes, contains the keys to time travel. So we build it, and then we go back in time to build the moon, closing the loop. Our future literally creates our own past. So if this wild theory holds any water, then all those mathematical patterns, they're not just a signature from the builders. They're a signpost pointing to a much, much deeper message. A message we left for ourselves. Think about it. If you wanted to leave a message that could survive for billions of years, where would you put it? Not on a stone monument that can erode. You'd put it in the most durable, self-replicating, self-repairing hard drive in the known universe, life itself. The message would be hidden inside our DNA, passed down through every generation. So how would we ever read it? Well, the book proposes that those pin numbers we talked about, 366 for Earth and its reciprocal, 273 for the moon, they're the decryption key. They could represent the dimensions of a digital image, a grid that's 3,663 pixels by 273 pixels. And the data to fill in that picture? It could be sitting right there in a conserved 1 million base pair stretch of what we currently call junk DNA. And that just leaves us with this final, absolutely mind-blowing question. If we are the architects of our own world, and we left ourselves a key in the sky to unlock a message hidden in our own genes, what on earth does that message say? Is it a schematic for time travel? A warning about some future catastrophe? Is it a roadmap for our own destiny written by our future selves? According to this theory, the biggest secret in the universe isn't out there in the stars. It's waiting inside every single one of us.